execute Order 66. Do it. Do it, Ben. Do it. Ben Kenobi? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yes, my master. You will be honored to join with us. You will realize the full power of the dark side. Now, you're probably all thinking that I'm going to do like a thing about the guy who wore this costume as like a thing for this guy, but no, I'm going to talk about something else entirely different. The movies of Disney that joined the dark side. Now, here's the thing. A lot of yous may not know the dark side of Disney. But, to be honest, Disney has had a history of pedophile movies. And a lot of yous didn't even know it. That's the most, I'm not sure if it's even funny or even more stupid. You see, a lot of people didn't understand it and don't know anything about it. So, I'm here to tell you about Disney's pedophile history. And some of you may be shocked of what the original movies I do have here that are truly pedophile movies, and I'll explain. Now then, first we have on the list, at number, I'm going to work my way down to number 1, and, well, maybe not, maybe I'll just crank it up. Anyway, we're talking about the pedophile movies. Now, we're going to get into it. One of them is, the one movie that should be boycotted is The Little Mermaid. Why, you may ask? Well, if you want to consider it, Ariel, even in the original novelization of the Little Mermaid series, her character actually dies. Well, we're not going to actually cover that, because basically that's not in the Disney movie. But, or the one that's in the Disney thing, we talk about the, the priest getting it looks like, okay, it's his knee, but it looks like he's getting a boner in the marriage ceremony. That's not what we're going to talk about. But there is one thing we talk about. You see, what makes this, not even the fact of a dildo or like a basically an elongated object that looks like a private part that was actually put on top of the promotional poster for the actual movie of King Triton's castle. Nah. Absolutely nah. That's not what makes this movie a pedophilic movie, those two things. And especially when it was directed at kids. Now, that could be considered as a good excuse to call it a pedophile movie. Nah. There's another reason why Disney's Little Mermaid, is a pedophile movie. And here's why. You see, Ariel is aged 16 and the Prince Eric is aged 18. Okay? So if you want to go with ages and stuff like that, there we go. There's one of your offenders right there as a pedophile movie because Ariel gets married at age 16. So there you go. Another one of the Disney evil dark side movies we have is Aladdin. And why Aladdin, you ask? Those Prince Ali, King of the Bee, little Bob, and you ain't got a friend like me. All that great stuff. Here's the thing though, it's a pedophile movie. Why is it a pedophile movie, you may ask? I'll tell you. Because Jasmine is aged 16 and Aladdin is 18. So there you go. Just going to ruin your childhood, peoples. Have fun. So yeah, pretty much more or less, The Little Mermaid and the Disney's Little Mermaid and Aladdin, yeah, they get Jasmine and Ariel get married while they're 16. So, okay, in America, when you get 16, you get your driver's license, but I don't think marriage is part of that. Now, the biggest offender in the Disney tropes, the biggest offender, just so happens to be the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movie. Why do I say that now? Of course, we already know that. Well, you can always make a sort of assumption that that it was kind of a jackass movie anyway, because like you got 7 guys hanging around one woman, so you can always make something about it there. But you can always make a sexual joke about that. But you might not want to do that, considering how old Snow White is. That's right. Snow White is actually 14 years old. And guess what? I just discovered this. But her Prince Charming, guess how old he is? Got any clues? 31. Yep. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a pedophile movie. Straight up, and plus murder and other so-called things that are not okay in the movie. But that is one of the biggest offenders. That the person she ends up marrying or running away off at the end of the movie, or marrying, she's actually 14 years old and marries a guy or whatever's done with her at with a prince who's 31. Funny how that works, isn't it? Furthermore, we have, oh yes, one of my friends on YouTube here is going to be very bloody pissed, and I do apologise for this again. Miss, not Miss, I mean, the Miss woman who's going to be really pissed off with me from this. Beauty and the Beast, because this is one of one person's favourite movies. But you know, Beauty and the Beast is actually a pedophile movie from start to finish. How do you figure that? Well, Beast was allegedly 11 years old when he transformed into the Beast. Then later on, it is officially stated in the canon that he's when he's in the Beast mode, he's like 21 when he meets Belle. And Belle is only 17 years old. So, yeah. So, by the looks of things, depends on which way you look at it, whether Beast was 11 when he met Belle, or whether Belle was, still 17 when he was 21. Either way you look at it, either Belle's a pedo, or Beast is a pedo. Either way. And the same thing with the Prince of, Snow White, and the same with the Prince of Eric. They might as well be pedophiles because they're dating those young children, basically. Then we have Sleeping Beauty Now, there's an original canon, which is absolutely gross. Do not look up the original Sleeping Beauty. It's nasty. It's very, very nasty. But the character Sleeping Beauty, okay, Princess Aurora, who's Sleeping Beauty and Maleficent, Princess Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, she was actually aged 16, and the prince that she's supposed to get married, get this, 20. Yep, 20 years old. Now we go to another Disney movie, Pocahontas. And Pocahontas, you don't think it's actually a pedophile movie, because basically in the actual canon, she's actually 18 and Captain John Smith is 19. However, if you go back to the original story, mate, this puts a bit of a strange spin on it when you think about it. The true story of Pocahontas and the real story, Captain John Smith is actually 31 and Pocahontas is 11. Okay, so it's pretty weird when Disney transferred over to having 18, 19-year-old peoples that they forgot that the Pocahontas story, she was actually a child in the original story. So yeah, it makes you wonder, don't it? Also, Cinderella. Yep, good old Cinderella's not going to be escaping the firing line. Basically, she was 19 and Prince Charming is 21. So, yeah, where do you go to with that? Oh yes, even our favourite topic, Mulan. People do not like Mulan, the current movie, but little do you know that the cartoon version and the live action version have one thing in common. They're both pedophile movies. Why is that? If you look up there, look at the age, Mulan is supposed to be 16 and General Shang is 23. So the whole that's probably why in the new movie they didn't have a romantic relationship, because they knew what was going on there. But in the original cartoon version, they have Mulan and General Shang shacking up. And get that, 1623. So, interesting, isn't it? Another thing, Peter Pan. Now there was a lot of controversy with the original Peter Pan book, but I have no issues with the guy who wrote Peter Pan. I reckon he's a good bloke. But in the Disney translation, there's a differing canon for Peter Pan's age. I mean, it's not actually specified, but Peter Pan's age was supposed to be 12 or 13. And as we watched the movie Hook, which is a Universal movie, not even Disney, but it was stated by Hook in that version that Peter Pan was basically Peter Pan stated that Hook stated that Peter Pan was 10 years old. So, going by a few different sources and different variations of canon, we can state that around 12 to 13-ish. Now, here's the thing. The original story of Peter Pan was when Peter brought Wendy to Neverland, the concept was to be a mother to him and be a mother to the lost boys. And this is where things get silly, is because they made out that there was a love interest with Wendy and Peter. That should not be a thing. So that's wrong. There should not be a thing between Wendy and Peter Pan, because Wendy is actually 13 to 14 years old. That's canon. Around about that mark. She basically, and even if you think about it, she was coming onto her birthday in the actual movie. So basically, she was right in that line from her, like I said, 13th birthday coming up to her 14th birthday. So basically, when she went to Neverland, 13, 14-ish. Then we have the relationship with Tiger Lily. Now, Tiger Lily's age varies as well, variations in different canon. From 12 to 15 to the new live-action movie, which says she's going to try and be cast as, well, basically the concept of her being 16. Now, so that's a bit strange. That why would a guy who's 12 or 13-year-old be interested in a girl who's 12 or 15 or 16? That just seems weird. Same thing with Tinkerbell. Now, this is the biggest offender in the Peter Pan thing. Basically, I gathered. Now, we don't know Tinkerbell's actual age, because basically fairies are supposed to be eternal or whatever, and they're ageless. But here's a big but. She was based on Marilyn Monroe. Now, I did sort of like a little bit of a head calculation, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Tinkerbell was based on Marilyn Monroe, and when the Peter Pan movie came out, she was about 20, 21-ish. So that and her look, and basically Marilyn Monroe's looks were based, well, Tinkerbell's looks were based on Marilyn Monroe, which was 20 or 21-ish at the time. Therefore, her being jealous of Wendy and having a crush on Peter, totally wrong. That's what makes Peter Pan a pedophile movie. Now, you can always debate about the Lost Boys, and you can always debate about Hook, or you can always debate about Peter and Wendy's relationship, but the biggest offender is the one between Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. She's like 20, 21-ish, and Peter's only 12 to 13-ish in the Disney canon. Interesting, isn't it? Very pedophilic. And then we have our good old friend Star Wars. That's right, Star Wars has some pedophilic things in it as well. Now, this may piss off some of you Star Wars fans, and even some of the kids or anyone else who's watching this video, but here's the pedophilic thing about Star Wars. I sort of let go about the whole, Luke Skywalker and Leia thing. No, that's not really that, because they're basically in their 20s-ish, so that's not a thing. But, and even Han Solo and Leia, that's another thing too. They are older, but yeah, they're sort of in their 20s, 30s, so that doesn't really matter. But here's the biggest offenders in the episodes 1, 2, and 3. We start off with Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. Starts off with him at meeting Padme when he was 9 and she was 14. So trying to set up a relationship thing when a kid's 9 and Padme's 14. I mean, that's a bit perverse. Then we go down to the Star Wars Episode 2, where we have Anakin, who is 19, and Padme's 24. Again, and this is when they're supposed to be in a intimate relationship. So in a way, if you think about it, everyone disses Anakin for coming on to Padme, but if you think about it, she let him on. She let him down that thing, and in a way, she was old enough to be smarter than Anakin, and especially when they were not supposed to be in a relationship. I hold full responsibility on Padme, and even she might even be classed as a pedophile, because Padme was 24, and Anakin was 19 when they were being intimate. So that's kind of pedophilic, is it not? Then we have the final episode where basically Anakin in episode 3, where Anakin is 23 and Padme is 27. Again, by the look of things, I can see also why maybe this is a warning. Why young relationships should not start at a young age, because a romantic relationship shouldn't start at a young age, because if it does, it might lead some people to the dark side. So there you go. So more or less, people, I consider Disney as the biggest pedophilic organisation with these movies, and the ages of some of these characters were not changed. Some were, but the majority of the thing was they are underaged characters. And when you start realising they were trying to put into a more romantic relationship with some of those young underage characters, that's where the problem is. So I say, if you go to Netflix or go to any Disney streaming services, boycott Little Mermaid, boycott Aladdin, boycott The Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, boycott Beauty and the Beast, boycott Sleeping Beauty and Maleficent, boycott Sleeping Beauty, boycott Cinderella, boycott Peter Pan, boycott Star Wars. And yeah, because basically Star Wars episodes are from 1 to 3, because basically it's all very, very pedophilic in nature. So I hope you guys found out a little bit of an interesting tidbits and stuff, and yeah, more or less, try and stay away from pedophilic movies and pedophilic stuff. So yeah, just let you know. Try and stay safe out there, people, during this whole virusy stuff and that. But most of all, I said, try and stay away from movies that support pedophilic natures. Okay, catch us all later. Bye.